Hello, beautiful one. Welcome back to this series called Through the Fire. And these are recordings specifically for people who have just gone through or are still going through the wildfire experience. So, people who had to let go of their homes in the wildfire. And of course, the exercise that I'm going to share today also applies to other people who go through their own personal fire, which could be loss, which could be an operation, which could be a challenge in business, in relationship, whatever it is that you would call your personal fire. So, today, what I would love to connect to, and why don't I start with it myself, is breath. Yeah. And that's a good one because breath is so important. Without no breath, no life, right? So, breath is amazing because she or he is like your best friend, a companion that is always there for you until the very last breath that we take. So, celebrate the breath and remember in times of crisis and challenge and disasters, it is so easy to forget to breathe. And especially for women, we actually naturally have a tendency to breathe shallow, meaning like, up here. And a lot of times when you witness, very high pitched voices, that often is a sign that people are not connected and grounded into their full beingness, into their bodies. So, what I would love to share with you today is a very simple breath exercise, and it can be done anytime. It can be done while waiting in line. It can even be done, that one can be done with your eyes open while you are in a car, well, certainly sitting in the passenger seat. But I just can't stress enough the importance to connecting deeply and consciously to your breath. So, when you do that, it literally reminds you of life itself, your life, and that you are still alive. And wow, isn't that a huge reason to celebrate? So know that when I went through the wildfire, breath, coming back to the breath was an ongoing practice, was an ongoing practice in awareness. And I noticed when I started to feel all over the place, or when I started to feel completely uncentered and very, very emotional, I often realized that I literally had stopped to breathe, that I would breathe in and then hold the breath, and then literally I didn't breathe out or I didn't breathe in anymore. Sounds a little odd, but I'm sure that you have experienced that too. Or I noticed that I would breathe kind of like really, really shallow. So I invite you to connect, to play with me, to connect to your breath. And if you can, I personally love, I love it if you can close your eyes. You don't have to. Sometimes when we close our eyes, it just sinks in deeper. And know that you can't do that obviously when you're driving a car or a bicycle, or you're on some kind of a transportation vehicle. So I invite you to close your eyes, and then I'm going to count for and with you. Because what I have noticed is whenever I count my breath, it almost becomes like a practice, or like, like a mantra practice or an affirmation when you keep saying internally a word or a sentence. So when you're counting, you're, in a way, you're disconnecting from thinking and your mind, and the focus drops into the action. And our action right now is the breath. So close your eyes or keep them open, and for a moment notice, how are you breathing? Is it a beautiful, slow, rhythmic breath? Is it a shallow one? Is it one that's a little hectical? So just notice right now. I always like to start with that awareness practice, because then we get to arrive. We notice where we are at right now. There's no judgment. Excellent. And then I'm going to start to count for and with you. So I'd love for you to take a deep, very conscious breath in on the count of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then let's hold the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now gently breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you know what? I'm going to count, actually, the next one I'm going to count 4, because if you're in a stress situation, it might be too much for you to breathe in on a count of 5. So again, breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can actually, do this with your fingers. You don't have to count out loud. Holding the breath, 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathing out, 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding the breath, 1, 2, 3, 4. And one more time, breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding the breath, 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out, 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding the breath, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now just continue breathing, and notice, has anything already shifted? Do you feel more present, more here? Maybe more calm, more peaceful? So now I'd like you to place the left hand on your heart and the right hand on your belly. And let's do that breath exercise a few more times. So breathing in deeply, and feel, when you do that, feel how the belly lifts and then your belly drops. Sometimes that is so super helpful when we witness what our body does for us. So breathing in deeply on a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time, breathing in deeply. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now breathe in gently without counting. And breathe out fully. And relax your arms. One is holding the heart and one is holding the belly. And breathing in deeply. Breathing out deeply. Breathing in. Breathing out. And continue breathing deeply. You know, you can experiment between breathing in through the nostrils and breathing out through the mouth, or you can breathe in through the nostril and out through the nostrils, or breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out through the mouth. Whatever feels good and natural to you. So beautiful one. If you have a few more moments and minutes to spare, I invite you to continue breathing. I call this a practice, almost like a spiritual practice, because it connects us to the heart, to life, to our spirit, to our soul. Brings us into the body, brings us here on this beautiful planet. So gift yourself deep, conscious breaths. And know the more you practice, the easier it gets. It's like training a muscle, the breathing muscle, deep breathing muscle. So I'll share one more breath in and out with you, and then you'll be on your own. Okay. So breathing in. One more. Breathing in. And one more. I send you much love and many blessings. Be well and breathe deeply.